So most people in the art world are familiar with an obscure character by the name of Vincent van Gogh, right? And one of his paintings, Starry Night, is one of his most famous paintings. I believe the reason for it is because he manages to imbue motion through the entire painting. And that's not the only one, it's just one of his most famous. Many of his works he did this. The direction of his brushstrokes also helped to reinforce the movement of his composition. So I'm just going to jump back to a failed attempt at a plein air painting the other day when it was windy and rainy. And I didn't paint anything. I didn't even draw anything that day. I just came home and from memory thought, oh, I think I kind of like something. It was the motion, tumbling down off of the hill, ending up with, a tree that stopped that tumbling, and trying to give some motion to it. Well, this was the miserable failure, and it is. It can be an entirely different painting, but it's nowhere near what I had pictured. It wasn't what inspired me about that particular scene. So then later, when I came home and I revisited my own video of that day, I drew this, partly because I felt that the shapes were, well, better drawn, more mature, the composition was better. And I think I mentioned as well that, we're tumbling off the hill now. That's a much better drawing in general, or composition as well. And then it stops here. What I wanted to mention but failed to was that and this pertains to Starry Night, that painting of Van Gogh. You have this motion of the hill coming down, and that's something I noticed about that scene that I saw that day too. Not only did the tree stop what was going on, it curled back on itself and sort of through your eye, coming down the hill and then coming back into the sky. It redirected. It's I don't know. It had a nice shape. Nice shapes, came down and then curled back into itself. So it kept you contained within this area. This area is not as important. There's only one line. It's a long one, but there's only one line that really turned me on to that feel. I wasn't thinking of Van Gogh when I saw that, but it did remind me of the motion that Mr. Van Gogh did manage to put into it. So what I'm going to do right now on this fresh panel, very quickly, I'm going to try to do more or less in one line this. Not going to include the distant hillside, not going to do any of this stuff, just this, the one single thing that inspired me, or that made me think I really like that shape. Now, I think my last video I called Boil It Down. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'm going to move this camera over here so that you can still see what's going on, but my fat head is not in the way. Okay. Crucial elements. I'm going to hold this down below here so that the reflection of the light doesn't blind you. But I'm going to still try to capture that one thing that I loved. Establishing the bottom, establishing the top, establishing the height of this tree. Now, I'm a Canadian guy. I tend to work from left to right. And this goes a bit against the grain, but I'm going to work from right to left. I like the sketch that I did, and that's basically what I'm trying to follow right now. More or less. as important, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Getting complicated. All right. That's the line. And what I'm trying to really illustrate is the fact that this tumbles down here, but it throws you back into the sky. Now I don't have a lot of sky so far on this drawing. That's okay, because I will cut the sky into this line in places. Anyway, that's it. It's not a painting day, but this has really been bothering me, and I wanted to just illustrate. Ignore this, pay attention to this. Down, back, back up, stops the line, but also brings you back into it. Hope you have a good, well, okay, I hope you've had a good weekend. Talk to you soon.